In this video we'll be discussing the vPod Lite and its features that are available. If you look at the vPod Lite, it has several buttons on the front: on, off, displacement, velocity, acceleration, and light. To begin, we'll push and hold the on button and you'll see the screen light up. And if you look at the display, you'll see a large number of 0. Currently it's set at GRMS. In the upper left hand corner we see an icon showing the status of the coil cable, and you can see that it is in an open state, and below that is the battery. As you change to velocity, you'll notice that it switches the unit to millimeters per second, microns peak per peak for displacement, and the backlight is being shown here, which is nice to use in a dark environment so you can actually see the numbers on the display. With this meter, it's easy to change the display unit. So for example, going from microns peak to peak, we can just press and hold the button and the displacement will now switch to mils peak to peak and then back to microns peak to peak. So it will continue to wrap through. So just hold and release the button to what you want to see on the display. And one thing to point out is that as you leave the unit and you turn it off, when you turn it back on, it will be in that unit. Next we'll go to velocity, and you can see that we have millimeters per second, inches per second peak, inches per second RMS, centimeters per second RMS, and then it will wrap back on through again. And then again, when we go to acceleration, push and hold the button and you see the options that are available for that. The vPod Lite comes standard with a high quality accelerometer, and this one is model 786A from Wilcoxon Research, which is a premium accelerometer. In this case, its normal sensitivity is 100 millimeters or 100 millivolts per G, and is very easy to use. It has a nice strong magnet on there, 2 rails on it so that you can go to a curved surface. A coiled cable, and then we have a nice LEMO connector that you can connect to the vPod meter. It's fairly straightforward as far as how you connect this. You just connect it to the connector on the meter. Observe that the upper left hand corner with the cable connected correctly, that we have a solid connection. So the meter is connecting the cable being correct. Take it out and now it shows an open status. In this case, what we've done is we've actually mounted a wire inside the cable itself so that it creates what is called a short. And this is a common problem that happens with cables. And so if you look at the meter here, you'll see that when we connect it, it has a darkened bar in this area here, and what that means is that it's a short. So that way if we remove it, now it's an open, and if it's actually connected, the bars would actually be completed going between them, so it would be a good connection. Extended tip. What we'll be talking about is the extended tip that comes with the standard kit in the vPod series of meters. If you look at the extended tip and how it's actually used, we have an accelerometer with a high strength magnet, and you notice that it's got a specific design so that you can connect this tip to the accelerometer. The rails that are on the magnet fit correctly with this piece here on the extended tip, so you just click it in place like that, and that's it. So now you have your extended tip connected to the accelerometer so that you can use this on places where you can't reach or mount the accelerometer correctly, as well as non-ferrous applications. So you can connect and disconnect the tip very easily. In this video we will be discussing the sensitivity setting on the vPod series of meters. To change the sensitivity on the meter, you press and hold first the acceleration button, then press and hold the on button, and continue to keep it pressed. And while you're pressing it, it will go into a menu for adjusting the sensitivity. The two buttons that we will use to adjust this is the velocity and the displacement button. So one would be considered an up button or a down button. And as you can see, when we push velocity, it's moving down. And if we push the displacement button, it will roll the numbers up. So what we would do is we would set the sensitivity to match what the calibration report on the accelerometer is. The other reason why this is important is that it allows you to change out different sensor types. So for example, if you have a 500 millimeter or 500 millivolts per G sensor, and then the next one you want to connect is 100 millivolt per G, you can by adjusting the sensitivity. So this is very simple and easy to use in this meter. In this video we will be talking about the vPod meter and the quietness of the meter itself. If you look at what this is, we have a high quality accelerometer connected via a cable to the vPod Lite in this case, and as we place the place the sensor on the foam, you'll notice that it will be quiet. And as we look at this, we'll see the values just slowly go down to a very quiet value, which is isolated. If it was a noisy or meter that's not capable, you would see this number bounce around a bit. And in this case, it's set at microns peak to peak. And as you can see, it's settled down to 0 at this point. So now we'll go ahead and change this to velocity, millimeters per second, RMS, or root mean square. And now we're in acceleration, G's RMS at 0.00 G's RMS. Taking the accelerometer, we'll go ahead and shake it, and as you can see, it's showing a value on here, and then we'll rest it back on the foam pad again, and it will quiet down to its restful state.